Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chelsea and I have another word to release to you guys today. I know I have been gone for a really long time. I guess it's still not too late to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year because Christmas and New Year's can be any day, right? So thank you to all of y'all that recently have been sewing into my ministry. I can't thank all of you individually, especially those of you that send through Zelle, but I just want to thank all of y'all from the bottom of my heart for sewing into my ministry and helping me. So yeah, guys, I have been gone for a while. When the Lord leads me to share what he wants me to share when I have been gone, he will. But today, this is an urgent message that has to go out, and this is the word that the Lord wants me to focus on today, okay? This is a marriage word, all right? So we're going to get right into it. I'm going to read the dream, and then I'm going to give y'all the breakdown of each part of this dream, okay? So the title of this word is called He's About to Reach Out, Next Stop Honeymoon, okay? He's about to reach out, next stop honeymoon. So this is a very exciting word for whoever it is for. So let's just go ahead and get into it, all right? So I had a dream that my kingdom spouse had messaged me at 5 something in the afternoon. When he had messaged me, I only saw the first sentence. I hope y'all can hear me because it's raining and I got this heater on, and yeah, I just hope that y'all can hear me because I can't make the volume go up any louder. Anyway, when he had messaged me, I only saw the first sentence, and from the first sentence, I couldn't understand what he was saying. It was like I wasn't opening the message because I believe he wasn't saying the right thing or coming correct as I thought he should. I was going to continue to ignore it, but I had an unction to go back to the message. I finally opened it, and the first sentence still didn't make sense to me. So I got out of the message. Then I came back to it again. This was all within a matter of minutes or within a moment of time because I knew in the back of my mind that, oh yeah, I've been waiting for him to reach out to me. When I went back to the message the third time, I went ahead and read the entire message, not just the first sentence. He had wrote a lot. It was very long and detailed. When I was reading it, he was telling me about a guy that he knew was my counterfeit, or the guy that I would have ended up with if I didn't end up with him. It was almost as if the message was urgent because he had to stop me from possibly going off to be with someone else. And that's why I wasn't trying to really open the message in its entirety, because there was a possibility of someone else that I could have went and talked to when he sent me this message, so it seemed. But something in me knew that this is the man I've been waiting to hear from. I had to see what he was talking about completely because he was the one I had been waiting on to come back to me. After this, I saw how we were in separate rooms, and then because I had read the message, I went in his room and we were in bed together. As I was getting in his bed, I was confirming things to him, like how I only wanted him and how the other guy would have never had a chance with me. He was on top of me and we were tongue kissing very passionately. I never felt anything more amazing in this dream. It was like we were synced into each other. As we were kissing each other very passionately, I told him that he was my first kiss, and he began to kiss me even faster at an uncomfortable speed. In this dream, I saw someone off to the side of us in the room, but the person was not standing. They didn't have legs. They were mid-body and in mid-air. It seemed like a counterfeit male or my brother. Okay, so that was a complete dream. So before I break this down, I just want y'all to know that everything that's in this dream is not about me, okay? God will use me and my kingdom spouse to give y'all a message, okay? So everything in this marriage word is not about me. It's just, some of it is just for some of y'all, and he will use me and my kingdom spouse so that you can receive whatever it is that he wants to give to you through the dream, okay? So in the first part of this dream, me and my kingdom spouse had messaged me at 5 something in the afternoon. Okay, so in this part, God is saying that for some of you, you may have thought that your kingdom spouse was, I can't even talk, that your kingdom spouse was going to reach out at a particular time, and he has not. Or God is saying that do not put a time frame, because he could reach out at any time, okay? It could be 5-some in the afternoon, even if you thought it was going to be at another time in the midnight hours, whatever you thought. He's saying he could reach out at any time. So just remove the idea of what time you think is going to be as far as a clock time of when you think he's going to reach out. It could be any time, okay? Also, the number 5 means grace. So take that back to God. That may mean something to somebody for this word, okay? Then the next part, when he had messaged me, I only saw the first sentence. And from the first sentence, I couldn't understand what he was saying. It was like I wasn't opening the message because I believe he wasn't saying the right thing or coming correct as I thought he should. I was going to continue to ignore it, but I had an unction to go back to the message. Sorry, I think somebody was walking by. So for some of you, when your kingdom spouse reaches out, God wants you not to ignore the message just because the person may not be saying what you think they should be saying or coming off how you believe they should be coming off, okay? So yeah, just keep that in mind for whoever that part of the word is for. Do not ignore them because it doesn't look like or seem like they're saying what you would like them to say or coming at you the way you believe they should, okay? So you just need to be open-minded to whatever your kingdom spouse has to say to you when they reach out, all right? In the next part of the dream, I finally opened it, and the first sentence still didn't make sense to me, so I got out of the message. Then I came back to it again. This was all within a matter of minutes or within a moment of time, because I knew in the back of my mind that, oh yeah, I've been waiting for him to reach out to me. So, for some of you, you might get caught off guard with this message. Like I said, I finally opened the message and then I got out of it and then I went back to it again. So it was like a matter of 2 or 3 times, more like 3 times where I seen this message, then opened it, then I opened it, got out of it, then went back to it. So for some of you, it's all going to happen within a few minutes of time or in a moment of time, okay? So for some of you, it's just going to happen out of nowhere. You can be sitting down on the couch watching TV, in the bed, laying down, whatever. It's just going to happen in a moment of time. The amount of times that I was going back and forth with entertaining the thought of this message all happened within a matter of minutes or in a moment of time. So it's going to happen fast, and then in the midst of it, whether it's DM, email, whatever, you might feel confused about the sentence. You might feel confused, and so you might read it, ignore it, go back to it. But again, you have this unction in you, and you know that this is the person that you've been waiting to hear from. So it's all going to happen within a moment of time or within a few minutes. You're not going to be able to just completely ignore this message or completely like walk away from it. I pick the phone up, put it down, pick it up, put it down, pick it back up, because I knew in this dream that this is the person I've been waiting to hear from. So it's not something that you'll be able to ignore. You can't ignore this message, and you can't ignore what God is doing, you know, when your kingdom spouse reaches out to you, okay? Then when I went back to the message the 3rd time, I went ahead and read the entire message, not just the first sentence. He had wrote a lot. It was very long and detailed. When I was reading it, he was telling me about a guy that he knew was my counterfeit, or the guy that I would have ended up with if I didn't end up with him. It was almost as if the message was urgent because he had to stop me from possibly going off to be with someone else. And that's why I wasn't trying to really open the message in its entirety, because there was a possibility of someone else that I could have went and talked to when he sent me his message, so it seemed. But something in me knew that this is the man I've been waiting to hear from. I had to see what he was talking about completely, because he was the one I had been waiting on to come back to me. So God wants you to take a deeper look into the message. Don't just ignore it because it don't look right. It don't seem like how it was supposed to come or packaged the way you thought. Open the message, read the message in its entirety to see what your kingdom spouse has to say to you, okay, when he comes back. And then another reason why I did not want to open the message completely is because I thought that there was a possibility of someone else that I could have went and talked to when he sent me his message. So for some of you, for whoever this part of the word applies to in your kingdom spouse journey, you may have thought that you had another option. So it seemed, okay? Because in the dream, it seemed like I had another option for whoever this is for. You have already figured out who this other person is. Maybe you had conversations with them, but you felt like this other person was another option for you until your kingdom spouse reached out. In the dream, when he reached out, that's when I knew it was a so it seemed I could be with another person. Up until he came. When he came, it was 100% clear that it was a so it seemed, meaning no, you never had another option. So for whoever this part of the word is for, you have been waiting on your God-ordained spouse to reach out to you. And in the midst of you waiting, you know who your kingdom spouse is. This is not you don't know who they are. You don't know who you've been standing for or waiting for. No, you've known all this time. But because you and your God-ordained spouse have been separated for quite some time, this part of the word is not for those of you that have been in communication with your God-ordained spouse, because you don't think that there's another option because you've been in communication with this person, or if you were in a relationship with them in the past, y'all have had communication, like I said, or you weren't in a relationship with them, but y'all have had numerous amount of time on the phone. Y'all have talked and all of that, maybe some courting and all of that. This part of the word is not for you. If you have been separated from your God-ordained spouse for a very long time, no communication at all whatsoever, God may have allowed you to think that you had another option for whatever reason. That's for you and God to know what that reason was as to why he allowed you to think that you had another option. He also allowed your God-ordained spouse, your husband, to believe that you would go off and be with a counterfeit if he doesn't come and get you, or that you would end up with another guy. So the reason why the message that my kingdom spouse was sending me was so urgent was because God allowed my kingdom spouse to feel in this dream so that he could go and reach out to me, so that he could go and communicate with me, because it was time, okay? So he allowed him to feel like I would be able to be with somebody else or a counterfeit if he didn't come and get me, if he didn't reach out to talk to me. And so for some of the women, God may have allowed you to think that you had an option because he was actually giving you the option to stand for your kingdom spouse. Okay, so again, it's not for those of you that have had a relationship with your kingdom spouse in the past and got separated, or for those of you that have been in communication with them and have had extended period of time of talking to them and all of that. It's part of the word not for you. Move on to the next part. But for who it is for, the women, he may have allowed you to think that you had an option to be with somebody else, because he needed you to choose to stand for your kingdom spouse. He wasn't going to force it on you. He gave you the option to stand. And that's what the option was, to stand for this person, okay? And so because he gave you the option to stand for this person, you may have thought that if this person doesn't come, then you have another option. But the option was to stand for your kingdom spouse. I hope that makes sense. Take it back to God for whoever that part of the word is for, okay? So once my kingdom spouse came back, there was a complete knowing that there was no other option. Your kingdom spouse reaching out is you knowing 100% sure that there was never another option. And I'm trying to make sure y'all understand that for whoever this part of the word is for, it's not that you never knew who your kingdom spouse was or who you were standing for. You always knew. But the idea that there could have been somebody else is going to cease. The so it seemed is going to cease because he finally is going to reach out, okay? So that part of clarity that's going to come to an end once he reaches out. You will know, because you're going to know that the person I've been waiting on has finally reached out to me. There was no other option, okay? After this, I saw how we were in separate rooms, and then because I had read the message, I went in his room and we were in bed together. All right, so right now y'all are in separate rooms, meaning y'all got two different places y'all living, or doing y'all own thing in two different places. But once I read the message, I was in his room and we were in bed together. Okay, so this represents the communication that is happening, okay, in the dream. When I read the message, I now was in his room and in his bed. As I was getting in his bed, I was confirming things to him, like how I only wanted him and how the other guy would have never had a chance with me. Okay, so this is the conversation actually happening once I was in his bed. So first, it was just we were in separate rooms, but once I read the message, now I'm in his room, now I'm in his bed. Then when I started to confirm things to him, meaning we started having actual conversations, I'm messaging him back, I'm talking to him and letting him know that there was never another guy, that there was never going to be another guy, only him. That was representation. Me getting in his bed was representation of us finally having, the communication and the conversation, okay? And then after that, he was on top of me and we were tongue kissing very passionately. I never felt anything more amazing in this dream. It was like we were synced into each other, okay? And so for some of you, this kiss is just going to be majestic. It's just going to be wonderful. It's going to be like the best thing, you've ever had and felt, because this is your God ordained spouse. This is your kingdom spouse. And so you're going to feel that love that you never felt with anybody ever before in your life, okay? This kiss is going to be so passionate and it's just going to be godly, okay? As we were kissing each other very passionately, I told him that he was my first kiss and he had begun to kiss me even faster at an uncomfortable speed, okay? So for some of you, this is your first kiss. Your God ordained spouse, this will be your first kiss. For some of you, you are virgins. And so just be okay with telling your kingdom spouse that, hey, you're my first kiss. Hey, I'm a virgin. Can you take it slow? Can you be gentle? Some of them may not know this if you have not talked to them. Some of them may know. Some of them may not know. But either way, don't be afraid to tell your kingdom spouse, hey, you're my first kiss. Can you go slow? You're my first, everything. So be gentle, And so, yeah, don't be afraid to, tell your kingdom spouse that and acknowledge that and let them know. So another part of this, when I had this part of the dream about my kingdom spouse kissing me at an uncomfortable speed, it also was like a twofold. It happened two different ways. So for some of you, when you tell your kingdom spouse this information that he is your first kiss or you are a virgin and all of this, this is actually going to make him even more excited. And that's why you need to have the conversation and tell him. And for others of you, they just may not know, period, and they may just go off into an uncomfortable speed for you. Not that the speed is not normal, but it's uncomfortable for you because it's your first time. So either way, the coin is flipped for your situation. It's okay to tell them and have that conversation because this experience is to be enjoyable for the both of you, okay? In this dream, I saw someone off to the side of us in the room, but the person was not standing. They didn't have legs. They were mid-body and in mid-air. It seemed like a counterfeit male or my brother, okay? So at this point of the dream, when my kingdom spouse was on top of me and we were tongue kissing passionately, we were not having sex, okay? We were getting ready to go into consummation, okay? Which is what seals the deal from what has already been done in the spirit and the physical, right? We're married in the spirit, and then you come and you get married in the physical once you two have sex and become one, okay? Yes, the marriage papers have to be signed and legal documents, right? Because that is the time that we are in, and you cannot just say if we have sex, that's enough, that seals the deal. No, you still got to sign on papers, okay? Y'all still got to get married on paper. But in what has already happened in the spirit, you guys being married in the spirit, it is official when you guys have sex and become one, okay? So we were on our way to that, and that's when I saw the spirit floating mid-air, mid-body, didn't really have like no legs or nothing. And I thought it looked like a counterfeit male or my brother, okay? So this is a monitoring spirit. This is spirits that have been trying to see what's going on in your life, you and your kingdom spouse. And this could go from your side of people that may know you or people that may know him. They exes, they past people, they family members, your family members, whoever. This could be family or other counterfeits that the person you are marrying dealt with, or that you dealt with in the past, monitoring spirits that they have, trying to see what's going on in your life, trying to see if y'all have come together as one, if y'all are officially married, right? But nothing, they couldn't do anything to stop us from going into consummation, from us having sex and becoming one. They couldn't do anything about it. All that monitoring spirit could do was sit there and watch. Like, there was nothing that they could do about it. I know that sounds weird, you know, pray, counsel, monitoring spirits. But I'm just saying, there are certain people that have monitoring spirits that want to, you know, see what's going on. They may try to hit you up. They may try to ask you certain things about what's going on in your life to try and figure out if you're married yet or whatever the case may be. But it's none of their business. They monitoring spirits. And regardless, once the consummation happens, it's official. It's done. There's nothing the enemy can do. All he can do is sit back and watch, because this is a God-ordained marriage. There will not be no divorce. None of that, okay? It's official. It's done. It's a wrap. It's over for the devil. It's really a wrap when he reaches out to you. That's the first wrap, okay? But then the second wrap is when y'all literally have sex for the first time, and it seals the deal from what has happened in the spirit now to the physical, okay? If you don't understand what I'm talking about, when you have sex with somebody, you become married to them in the spirit, okay? This is why people can have spirit spouses from people that they sleep with, succubus and incubus spirits, all right, and spirits of lust that try to sleep with them in their dreams, or they married to in the spirit because of somebody they slept with, okay? And now they married to this person in the spirit, or they're married to other people that the other person they slept with has slept with. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay, so back in the Bible days, when people got married, like Isaac and Rebecca, for example, when Rebecca married Isaac, she just went in the tent, okay? They had sex, consummation, and they was married. There wasn't no marriage papers back then. Of course, you still have to do that today, marriage papers, before sex could even play a part. But that seals the deal, okay, for a marriage. That's why, again, people can be married to other people that they don't even know about, or from their past in the spirit, and they have to go back and break those covenants of marriage that they have with these people in the spirit, okay? I hope y'all understood all of that, all right? So, yeah, in the last part of the dream, when the monitoring spirit was watching, it was nothing they can do, because we were in the midst of about to consummate. So we were in our honeymoon bed, okay? We were in our marital bed. We were on honeymoon. This is it. We doing the do, okay? And so, yeah, that was the honeymoon. So for some of you, when your person reaches out, you guys are going straight off to get married, and then you guys are going to your honeymoon. Like, this is going to be a swift movement for some of you. You are well equipped. Your husband or your wife, if you're a man, y'all both are well equipped. Y'all both are prepared and ready to be married to each other. It's now the time for you guys to get married. So when your husband, woman of God, reaches out to you, just know y'all going out to get married. Y'all are going to y'all honeymoon, and it's a wrap. Okay, really, it's a wrap when he reaches out, like I said, because there's so many blessings and restoration and promises that will be released to other people attached to both of y'all when this marriage comes together. And that's why the enemy has not wanted to come together for so long. That's why he has fought it so hard from this marriage coming together, because it's not just a regular marriage, y'all. There's so much attached to you two getting married. It's so powerful, it's so strong, more than you even understand. And so when you guys come together, the stuff that is going to be released for other people is depending on you getting married, okay? Breakthroughs, promises, healing, deliverance for other people. My God, there's a lot attached to you guys getting married, period, okay? This is a kingdom marriage, okay? That is it for this word. So expect communication. It's been a long time coming for some of you. For whoever this word is for, take what's for you, take it back to the Lord. But I just want to say congratulations to whoever the word is for, because you've waited, you've done the work, and now it is time for you and your kingdom spouse to get married, all right, and go off to y'all honeymoon and have a happily ever after, okay? So I will see y'all in the next video, and y'all have a blessed day. Bye.